My name is Thomas Payton, President of the Canton Chamber of Commerce, and I would like to officially extend a warm welcome to all of you. Welcome to our Canton 2020 launch. Before we get started, of course, this event would not be possible without the support of our sponsors. So we want to take this time to give recognition to our sponsors this afternoon and to say a few words. We'll have a representative from each of our sponsor businesses to say a few words. And first up is Mr. Rob Bovitz from Bovitz CPA.
'Tis the season. And first of all, I'd like to thank Congress and President Trump for passing our new tax law before they shut down Washington. Last time they changed the tax law this widespread was when I was a young CPA in 1986 when President Reagan thought we were going to put us out of business because the tax becomes so simple. But seriously, what it does is it creates more need for a face-to-face interaction with a professional. And tax software can only answer the questions that you put in. It doesn't tell you what the right answer is, just a proper calculation. So with that, my professional team I brought with me today is Jim Malinowski. Jim and I share the office at Cherry Hill and Lilly, and Jim is the attorney, works with our estate and trust planning. In the back, Denise Staffel, Bank of Ann Arbor, she does our mortgages. Now that home equity line interest is not deductible, go see Denise. It's time to refinance and get that deductible interest on your Schedule A. My wife, Katie, proud graduate of Leadership Canton. If you see these Canton pins, it's not only the township people that are wearing them, but also the Leadership Canton. I strongly recommend the program. And Katie was actually back on Planning Commission back when things were fun to do in Canton and plan about 10 years ago. Next to Katie is Scott Coates, Scott with Ameriprise. And those who enjoyed a strong stock market realize that it's only good as long as it stays up, but if it goes down, you want to make sure you have someone watching it for you. And a professional advisor like Scott is peace of mind. That's P-E-A-C-E, not P-I-E-C-E. Next to them to Tom and Cheryl Skynar Bookkeeping. Tom and Cheryl work with my clients when you don't want to outsource or when you don't want to hire a bookkeeper and pay all the HR costs to go with a bookkeeper, outsource to Skynar. It's a win-win because they do it efficiently, professionally, and more importantly, my fees are less because they clean it up for you. So Skynar Bookkeeping does a great job. Renee Merckx, Renee with Michigan Long-Term Care. If you're concerned about the market doing a correction when Scott manages your money, you want to make sure that some of it is protected. Renee does the protection side and the long-term care and the insurance side. So Renee is also a peace of mind. And Mary Jane Fallot from Eastern Michigan, our chair this year of the Canton Chamber. I strongly recommend Eastern Michigan's business school. They send qualified business candidates out there and make good CPAs. I'm a University of Detroit graduate, but I wear green too. So, so there's my team, and thank you very much, and have a great year.
Thank you so much, Rob. Next up, we'd like to invite Natalie McLaughlin from Community Financial.
Thank you very much, Thomas. Thank you. Well, it's great to see everybody today. As Thomas said, I'm Natalie McLaughlin with Community Financial Credit Union. We're a full-service credit union with a couple branches here in Canton and others in Western Wayne County. We are very honored to be able to support the Chamber in this event. And I just want to share also, there are a lot of great folks in this room that are working really hard for the Canton community, including the folks at my table here. But we're happy to help you with anything you need in your financial area, and we're led by our CEO, Bill Lawton, who's here with us today, really working to try to help the folks in Canton. We did a financial health survey this last year of our members, excuse me, and about 30%, Bill could give you the exact number, told us that they were struggling financially and trying to just get by. So a number of you in this room are working to help those folks every day. We really appreciate that, and we're proud to partner with you in all of those initiatives and the Chamber with the things that are coming this year. So thank you very much.
And next up, representing Jack Dimmer Ford, is Jim Dimmer.
Thank you. I'd like to thank all of you for being part of the community that supports the community. My dad, Jack Demmer, who started our business, always told us, if you take care of the community you're in, the community will take care of you. And it's all about the people, and it's fun and very gratifying to be surrounded by people that care about the community. With me today are Al Rabin, Danielle and Jennifer from our office keep us running back there, Sue Sharkus, my son Rob. And again, thanks for being here today. Thanks for being part of a great community.
And last but certainly not least is Mr. Greg Sears representing St. Joe's.
Hello. So I was a little slighted when Thomas said I was going to go fourth, even though, Rob, you always go first, right? I was a little slighted, but then he reminded me that, this goes to about 1 o'clock, so I got 45 minutes to talk now because it's on the last one. My team from the St. Joe's Canton Health Center is here. I'm not going to go through all the names. Thank you all for attending today. On behalf of the system, the St. Joseph Mercy Health System, I'd really like to thank you all for coming here and being a part of this chamber. We appreciate, I think this is probably our 27th year being a member of the chamber, and it's certainly been very rewarding to us to be part of this very strong community that's very important to our achieving our mission at St. Joe's. So we thank the work that thank Thomas for the work that he's doing. Just to give you a little bit of insight to what this building is that's just to the east of us. I don't think we've done this in the past. We kind of give you a little snippet of some service.
He doesn't have 45 minutes after all.
Yeah, I'll hold it from the bottom so I don't get cut off again, Nice try, Thomas. But anyhow, this building actually has been in the community for about 27 years as well, so it's just a bit over 100,000 square feet, so it's not a small healthcare concern in your community. It's a pretty large healthcare concern in your community. So for some of the services that we have in there, we have a full service urgent care, and it's an urgent care led by Judy, who's right here in our in the building today. But it's probably the busiest urgent care in the state of Michigan, not in this area, in the state of Michigan. So we play a big part in the healthcare delivery that goes on within this community. We have a full service diagnostic center that has low-end technology as well as high-end technology. So MRIs, CAT scans of that nature, you can get right at this facility, very easy access. Probably about 10 years ago, we doubled the size of the building. We added on a cancer center there's a full service cancer center, so you can get your infusion therapy, radiation oncology, medical oncology right here in this community. So we wanted to make that accessible so people didn't have to travel 25 miles west to get that kind of treatment. We have a full service surgery center that is probably the best kept secret in this particular area. So and if you have a physician in this area and you need to have a surgery, a minor surgery, you don't have to travel 25 miles. You can get it done right here. And then we have several physician offices, both primary care and specialty care in this particular building. And we put a tremendous investment in trying to make healthcare accessible for this community. We intend to be in this community for a long time. We really appreciate being part of the chamber. We appreciate Thomas allowing us this sponsorship, and we hope to have many, many years of partnership with all of you. So thank you very much.
Can we just have one big round of applause for all 4 of our sponsors this afternoon? And really, these 4 sponsors that are sponsoring this event today are 4 of the biggest community supporters. And so our community, our chamber, are grateful to have you all as members of our chamber and our community. So we thank you. Now, historically, at our January luncheon, we always install our board of directors. So at this time, I would like to ask all of the Canton Chamber board members to come up to the front. And I'd also like to invite Judge Giroux to perform our installation for us.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you.
Throwing you a curve there. Come on down, as Bob Barker would say. Bonjour. My, how this organization has grown. Seems like just yesterday there was a half dozen or so of us with bad haircuts, ill-fitting clothes, in that cinder block building in downtown Plymouth. Wait, is this the Oddfellows or is this the Chamber of Commerce? Oh, wrong speech, sorry. Okay. In any event, it is my privilege and pleasure to swear in the new board of directors. Serving on a board is a critical service. I can make this short and sweet, or I can turn this into a team building exercise. So I'm thinking, why don't we line up alphabetically by the name of your most recent spouse or significant other. All right, I'll do the short version. Okay, all right. Okay, raise your right hand, please. There you go, we all got the right hand, that works. Now this is kind of like Trivia Live. The correct answer is I do. Okay. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will discharge your duties faithfully as a director of the Canton Chamber of Commerce? I do. Congratulations. Left-handed shake, left-handed shake. I'll race you. I'm rattling this around, sorry.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Linda Daly. I represent Vibe Credit Union's Canton branch at Warren and Sheldon.
It's not going to work, sorry.
I am Jennifer Williams, and I'm the owner of Positive Pet Care. I'm Kate Lambert, and I'm with Apple Graphics and Printing.
Greg Sears, I think you know where I'm from, right?
Hi, I'm Mary Jane Fallett from Eastern Michigan University. I'm a senior corporate relations manager there.
Good afternoon, Brian Brown, the Director of Sales at Fellows Creek Golf Club.
Hi, Tammy Brown of Farm Bureau Insurance here in Canton.
Good afternoon, I'm Felicia Koski. I'm with Trade First. If you want more business, come see me. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Sharon Ragland Keys, and I own College Nanny Sitters and Tutors.
Good afternoon. My name is Joe Couture. I'm with the Beaumont Wayne Hospital. I'm the Vice President of Operations. Thank you.
And last but not least, Denise Staffeld from Bank of Ann Arbor in Plymouth.
So we are excited to lead this year with the great leadership team that we have at the Canton Chamber, and I'm looking forward to working closely with all of them. And now, as we would like to invite up our chair of the board for 2018, Mary Jane Fallett from Eastern Michigan, with a few words.
Thank you, Thomas. On behalf of the Board of Directors of the Canton Chamber, we want to thank you for being here today and for your continued commitment to the Chamber and to this community. It's an exciting time for the Chamber, which you're going to hear more about later. We're enjoying economic growth. We have new educational and industry initiatives that we're working with, and we have increased growth and involvement from our membership. The Canton Chamber is not only moving forward, we're also setting the standard in some of these areas, and again, you'll hear more about that afterward, primarily in the business education partnership area and other collaborations. And we're being proactive in many ways, and this is going to help us in general in all of our business areas. Our board of directors had a retreat in December, excuse me, and we discussed not only where we are and where we're going as a chamber, but we also did some activities to get to know each other a little better. And we learned a lot about that. We learned that we had very common values, goals, beliefs, and that our interest is truly involved in helping this chamber be all that it can be. It was a time of learning and planning, and you'll hear more about this as we go through. But we have some improved events and trainings that are coming through. We'll have better business resources and more effective educational and outreach activities for our members. Excuse me. So in closing, I would like to ask you for a commitment. This is an easy commitment. This is not a money commitment. This is a commitment where I have two requests. One, I would like to ask you all to plan to attend one additional event beyond what you normally would attend for our chamber. That's the first one. The The second one is to ask someone else to attend with you, not a spouse, not a significant other, someone in the community who is not participating actively in our group. Maybe it's somebody who used to be involved years ago and maybe hasn't participated for a while. Maybe it's a new business in the area that could benefit by being a part of the chamber. Maybe it's somebody who doesn't know anything about the chamber at all. So I would like your commitment on that part of it. And because I know this group isn't real quiet sometimes and likes to be engaged in activities, I would like you all at the count of 3. I can do that. So I'm asking you to commit to 1 additional activity and 1 person that you're going to bring in addition. Now you have to understand, the table in front of me is really loud, so it's probably going to take all of the rest of you to say it louder than them. Okay? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I can do that. Thank you so much.
So we're holding every last one of you to that commitment. And our judge is still here, so it was an oath, actually. So once again, I want to officially welcome everyone to Canton 2020. And I know many of you are probably wondering, what is this 2020? And trust me, you're going to find out a little bit about that in just a few moments. But before I get into the actual aspects of Canton 2020, I do want to highlight very briefly some membership benefits that we would like you all to take advantage of. Some that are new and some that just are refreshed or that are being relaunched. Some of these items, some of you are already taking advantage of and you're already aware of them. But just a few brief highlights. You may have already read some of the information that was scrolling on the slides before we actually started our presentation. But one of the things that are actually back by popular demand is our free media packages. We started these last year, and they've gone very well. We've gotten some great response back from our membership. So just a quick review of what's involved in those free media packages. One is the Business Spotlight program. That's where you have the opportunity to be featured on our local Canton cable channel. I actually show up at your place of business with one of the best camera crews in the state of Michigan. And we actually interview you right in your place of business, and it airs for a full month on our local station here. If you don't have a brick and mortar location, that's okay. We do have the opportunity to do some in-studio footage as well. The other part of this media package is our radio show, Chatting with the Chamber. That airs on 88.1 The Park. We bring all the listeners of 88.1 The Park, kind of the inside scoop of all of the great businesses that we have in our community and part of our organization. And the last component of this media package, this free media package I'll emphasize, is what we call Facebook Fridays. Facebook Fridays is a live stream platform that we do on our social media outlets, particularly Facebook. We live stream from the location of your choice and promote your business to all of our social media followers. We want to make sure that all of our members are being contacted or in touch with people from all different angles, whether it's online, whether it's on the radio, or through TV. So we invite you to take advantage of those benefits. We're going to be sending out some information very shortly about this, where you can register online or contact a staff member to get you signed up for any of those opportunities. Yes, sir. It airs on, sometimes the days flip, but usually it's on at Tuesdays around 5 or 5:30. Okay? Thanks, Mel. We are also relaunching a program called Get Social With Us. Some of you in the room are participants of this program, but Get Social With Us is a social media management program where we actually help manage your social media platforms for you. A member of our staff will actually contact you to analyze your social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, any of those, with the purpose to help you expand your social media reach online. So again, stay tuned to information for that. And lastly, one program that I would like to highlight is our Member Get a Member campaign. We talked a little bit about this last year, but we kind of streamlined the process of this. Last year, we were asking that our members, kind of what Mary Jane was alluding to, that you actually help us recruit and solicit and help us grow our organization to make it just that much more impactful in the community. What we are actually offering is that we actually will reward you for any member that you refer to the chamber. In just a few moments, I don't know why that keeps happening. In just a few moments, or just a few days, I should say, on the homepage of our website, there will be a referral button. All we'll simply ask you to do is click that referral button and just give us information, the contact, the business, maybe a phone number of the person that you would like to join the chamber. Our staff will then follow up with that person. If they do indeed join the chamber, then we will actually reward you. We'll get $20 per referral. That could be either a credit towards your membership, or we'll actually cut you a check for $20. You have the opportunity to actually get a free membership depending on how many referrals you get throughout the year. We will have a contest towards the end of the year of the most person that has brought in the most referrals will have the opportunity to win the grand prize of $1,000. You will receive in your emails a full description of how that tiered referral program will work, so stay tuned to your inboxes about that. And I'm moving quickly through these things. A few events, really great community events that I want to highlight. February 7th, mark your calendars. Life is a Cabaret. It's the kickoff event for the Canton Plymouth Relay for Life. Tickets can be purchased online on the Village Theater's website. And for more information, you can actually see Denise Staffeld, if you haven't saw her already, about that particular event. On February 9th is the Canton Chamber annual wine tasting in partnership with Holiday Market. 50% of the proceeds from this event will benefit the Live Like Max Foundation. The Live Like Max Foundation it benefits free healthy heart checks for student athletes. So we hope to see you there. And last, there's one other one, on Saturday, March 3rd. Again, at the Village Theater is a Live Bullet Detroit, an Against the Wind concert. And for more information about that, please see Miss Jill Engel. And again, that's Saturday, March 3rd. And lastly, but not least, April 27th is our crowd favorite, our annual auction. There's a new location this year, guys. It's actually going to be at Fox Hills, in their banquet and conference center at Fox Hills. So the theme that was chosen this year is Safari. So we are bringing the jungle to our organization, so we're sure that it's going to be an exciting time. All right, so you have all those dates marked on your calendar, I hope. April 27th. All right, so Canton 2020, what exactly is it? Let me first tell you what it's not. 2020 is not the year 2020, but actually what it is. 2020 actually represents our vision, our focus, and our clarity as we move the Canton Chamber forward. Canton 2020 is actually a workforce innovation project that the Canton Chamber is spearheading in our community. This innovation project is a collection of new programs, new events, new collaboratives, and new partnerships, all leading to two massive outcomes. And that outcome is the assurance that our businesses in our community have a robust talent pipeline filled with a skilled and talented workforce. And also the assurance that the youth in our community, the students in our community, are effectively exposed to various career pathways and work-based learning opportunities. This workforce innovation project is actually a proactive approach in driving growth and innovation in Canton's workforce. As we move through this presentation this afternoon, there are two things that I ask you to kind of keep in the back of your mind as we go through the presentation together. One, I want you to think about the economic impact that this workforce innovation project will have on our businesses, on our youth, and our community at large. And number two comes in the form of a question. Please ask yourself, how can I engage in this workforce innovation project? I mentioned just a moment ago that this innovation project is a collection of partnerships. And I'm honored to have with me today some representatives of these dynamic strategic partnerships. The partners that are here today will actually assist me in telling the story of Canton 2020 and the initiatives of this project. Did you know that there are actually 100,000 or approximately 100,000 unfilled jobs in the state of Michigan? And some of those unfilled jobs we're seeing right here in the Canton community. Many of these unjob fields are unfilled because there is a skill shortage and a talent gap. So to make sure that our business community is not overtaken by some of the dire skills gap percentages that we are seeing across the nation, in fact, the Canton Chamber realized that we needed to be proactive. And not only did we need to be proactive, but we needed to become experts in something called talent pipeline management, or TPM. Talent pipeline management is a new approach and methodology to really closing the skills gap. And to tell us more about talent pipeline management, I would like to invite up our first strategic partner, Sharon Miller, responsible for Michigan talent architecture at Consumers Energy, and really spearheading the talent pipeline management for our state. Sharon, you have our attention.
Thank you, Thomas, for the introduction, and good afternoon, everybody. I am speaking first because I'm going to talk a little bit about the demand end of this equation. There's been a long-standing issue in Michigan and across the country with a mismatch between what our employers are saying we need and what the schools are producing. And I just came out of a 30-year career working in schools, and so I know the frustration is equal on the school side as it is on the business side. Now that I work at Consumers Energy, I can tell you that 3 years ago, we posted to hire 100 people to work on our energy infrastructure replacement program. It was 100 skilled trades jobs, and we had over 4,000 applicants. After we finished the screening process, we had less than 50 qualified people who made it all the way through the screening process. And so at that time, our Senior VP for Energy Resources, Dan Malone, said, if we're having this problem, we're not the only ones. What can we do about this? And so Consumers partnered with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce on this initiative called Talent Pipeline Management, and it's really cool. The thing I like about it best is that it's new and that it is actually driven by business using business principles. And the core of it is based on supply chain management principles. So it is the application of supply chain management principles to the talent pipeline. And what you're going to see on your tables is there is a one-page flyer there that describes the collaboratives that come out of this process. What TPM is it asks you to work with groups of employers who have a similar pain point. So the healthcare providers might work together, or the manufacturers might work together, or folks who have an IT pain point might work together, so that you come up with a very clear, specific list of what your quantity demand is, what the timing of that demand is, and what are the specific hiring requirements of it. Then you go through a process of using back mapping, so that you go back and you look at what have your typical sources of supply for talent been in the past, and can that pipeline accommodate the specific demand that you've just identified. The U.S. Chamber is perfecting, because they do not look at this as a complete process. It always is continually being improved. They are in the process of, they have developed this to the level where there is an online web tool that facilitates the process and works a group of employers through this process in a short period of time. At Consumers Energy, we worked with DTE. We partnered with them and Lansing Board of Power and Light, Water and Light, in the last 18 months, and it has solved our pain point. As a result of our efforts in that collaborative, we now have sole source provider relationships with 2 community colleges who are now creating electric line workers for us that they're developed to our specifications. It's cut down on our speed to proficiency by 13 weeks from the length of time it used to take to now. We've got a 13-week cut in that. We also have reduced turnover significantly, and our cost went up at the beginning because it's a lot of involvement at the beginning, but in the end it came down. So we track things like cost per hire, and we actually make sure that the effort that you put into these kinds of collaboratives pays off, because if it's not fixing the problem for you, what's the point? So it's using measurements, it's using systems, and it's using principles that are based on tried and true supply chain management principles. And so I wanted to come today, share just that little snippet about the Consumers Energy story of success. Brooke Franklin, who is one of Thomas's staff members, was selected to go through the Michigan TPM Academy, and Brooke is in the room, there she is back there. Brooke completed the first 2 days. She was one of 3 Chamber of Commerce in the state of Michigan selected to go through the academy. We have 20 participants and 3 are Chambers of Commerce. And she is going to be concluding that training in April, but I think she's getting real close to being ready to start convening a collaborative and working with you here in this chamber. We're seeing collaboratives form all over the state of Michigan. The 20 people who are in the academy are starting this process, and employers are engaging, and they're very excited about the early wins that we're experiencing. So with that, I'm going to turn things back over to Thomas, and I'm on hand for questions. Thank you.
So we are super excited to be a part of this first cohort training class in the state of Michigan. And as Sharon mentioned, we're proud to be one of 20 selected in our state to go through this robust expert training. So stay tuned, because we're going to be really engaging all members of our community in this very worthwhile process. So we are also aware that our efforts to move this project forward would be difficult if we didn't engage with our educational partners. The Canton Chamber has recently forged a partnership with Wayne County Regional Educational Service Agency, or Wayne RESA. This agency provides a broad spectrum of services and support to Wayne County's 33 school districts aimed at improving student achievement. We are currently working with Wayne RESA as they launch their workforce development website that features a website that inventories work-based learning opportunities for students throughout Wayne County. At this time, I'd like to introduce our next strategic partner, Ms. Donna McDowell, representing Wayne RESA, to tell you a little bit more about our partnership with Wayne RESA.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am so excited to be here today, and very excited about the talent architecture pipeline as well. Dr. Liepa and I had a chance to hear about this up in Lansing, and we're happy to be part of that collaborative. What I want to do is tell you a little bit about this new groundbreaking initiative, the Wayne County RESA Workforce Development Project, which was developed under the leadership of Dr. Randy Liepa, Superintendent of Wayne County RESA, and with the support of local superintendents, with the goal of increasing opportunities for career and workforce resources for students. In addition, the initiative is focused on supporting students entering the talent pipeline and thereby supporting economic prosperity in our region. The overarching goals were, first, to increase awareness of those workforce resources in all schools in Wayne County, and second, to create a one-stop shop of resources for students in order for each student to leave high school with a career plan. So here's how it got started. In 2016, Wayne RESA began the development of a workforce inventory website, which cataloged career and workforce resources that were available to everyone. It's available to all users. The initial target was for school district staff to have a place to go to find out about those resources. And we actually have reached out to counselors across Wayne County to inform them about this resource. And in fact, last November, we had a training for counselors in 31 of the 33 districts. We had over 170 counselors. In fact, Brooke was there to be part of that, held at Schoolcraft College. So as we got that kicked off, Risa asked the question, how can we accelerate getting those career and workforce resources to students? So last fall, Wayne Risa hired 2 full-time career counselors with additional counselors being hired this spring. They are working alongside high school counseling staffs to provide full-time career counseling to students, connecting them with career and workforce resources, and having each student develop an individualized career action plan. And just to tell you how it's going, in the last 12 weeks, they've only been on board for 12 weeks, they have connected with over 500 students in 11 high schools and have created 155 individualized career action plans for students. And we believe that in 2018, there'll be an unprecedented opportunity to create that kind of connection for over 1,000 students. So we're really excited about the potential. And with that potential comes the partnership with the Canton Chamber. The Canton Chamber's commitment to this work, we believe, is going to open opportunities for students to make those workforce connections and also to close the skills and talent gap that exists. We, in this project, meet students where they are and then open the opportunities and path for them, showing them how to access apprenticeships, skilled training, college opportunities, workforce provider opportunities, especially in those high demand jobs. So we're very excited about this partnership, and we look forward to working with the Canton Chamber and with workforce leaders across the county to impact our students' success and the prosperity of the region. Thanks.
Once again, another very exciting partnership that we have forged over the course of the year. And so we are actually obviously not gearing ourselves ready just to engage our business community here in Canton, but we're also going to be connecting with our other chamber partners throughout the county, and we're going to help engage businesses throughout all of Wayne County about this very worthwhile project that Wayne Risa is spearheading. So we are just thrilled to be a part of this initiative, and we know that the impact that it will have on our community here. I should mention too, once again, you just have a flyer about the Workforce Development Project on your tables. There's a website, so we do want to engage you with that information. As we talk about the skills gap, one of the industries that is experiencing a skills and talent gap is our manufacturing and industrial partners, which is one of the reasons that we actually launched Canton's first Manufacturing Day last October. We'll talk a little bit about Manufacturing Day in a moment. But Manufacturing Day cemented for us even more so the fact that of the human resource needs of the manufacturing industry in our community, and the needs of our manufacturing and industrial partners, the needs that they had actually exceeded what we could provide for them just one day a year by hosting Manufacturing Day. So that's why we actually forged another partnership that came by way of the SME Education Foundation. The SME Education Foundation is responsible for the development of a program called PRIME, and that's Partnership Response in Manufacturing Education. And we are thrilled to be partnering with SME. to bring the new Prime curriculum to our school district. Director of SME Education Foundation, Brian Glowiak, will give us a few more words about this initiative as well.
Thank you, Thomas. Yesterday, if you were privileged to listen to Governor Snyder in his State of the State speech, he announced a rather important statistic, and that is Michigan is ranked #1 in terms of job creation and manufacturing in the nation, and has held that title actually over the past 6 years. So what this really represents is, A, the resurgence of manufacturing throughout the country and in Michigan in particular, but it also references the fact that manufacturing really is the foundation for our economic prosperity. Now, this resurgence in manufacturing is quite a blessing, but it also recognizes that manufacturers today, the industry as a whole, is really experiencing a shortage of skilled workers, a shortage that really is reaching epic and crisis proportions. Now, as an organization that for 85 years has really been focused on advancing manufacturing and developing its workforce, SME is playing a role in helping to address this crisis. Now, the crisis can't be solved merely by developing these existing workforce. We need to attract and prepare youth for careers in manufacturing. But there's many challenges down that roadway. First of all, youth in general don't pursue manufacturing careers, aren't aware of the opportunities. We have to do everything in terms of working with students, with educators, with parents, to help them learn about manufacturing, really discover everything that the industry has to offer. Now, one of the ways we're doing this is through this Partnership Response in Manufacturing Education, or PRIME. PRIME essentially is a program that builds out centers of excellence in manufacturing education, allowing and preparing students to acquire the skill sets in highly skilled, highly paid, technology-driven occupations like CNC machining, like robotics, mechatronics, metrology, quality control, welding. These are positions that are in great demand, and our local manufacturers are identifying these skill sets. We're working with them and school districts to build out career pathways that are aligned with the needs of this workforce. So we're very proud to partner with the Canton Chamber and Plymouth Canton Schools to introduce PRIME into this community. Now, the essence of PRIME is that we are bringing in the hands-on training and allowing students to acquire the knowledge to excel in these competencies. And that's done, quite frankly, by bringing in industry-relevant equipment to train on. It's providing access to real-world manufacturing curricula. It's training the trainers, providing the professional development so that teachers can introduce these technologies into the classroom. It's sponsoring summer camps and academies for younger students so that we build their awareness and build that pipeline of students coming into the PRIME program. The essence of PRIME is that partnership. We partner with manufacturers to engage not only for their financial support to fund the program, for the equipment, the curricula, the teacher development, and these other initiatives, but it's the engagement with the students. It's providing the outside the classroom learning experiences through job shadowing, through mentoring. It's providing the work-based learning experiences through co-ops and internships and apprenticeships. It's giving students the opportunities to earn industry-recognized credentials. Now, part of this is really incumbent upon all of us, to build that awareness to students, to make guidance counselors and educators aware that to broaden horizons, that the college career pathway is not the exclusive pathway to success. PRIME actually serves both students who want to transition into the workplace following high school graduation, or students that want to continue their field of study post-secondary in a field related to manufacturing. So we started this campaign in this community. We're actively fundraising. There are flyers on your tables. I hope you will be interested in learning more and consider becoming a PRIME sponsor. So thank you.
The next component of our innovation project is Manufacturing Day. Now, as mentioned, we successfully launched this new event in our community last year. We did this in partnership with the Plymouth Chamber of Commerce. This day is a national day of celebration for students, building awareness of the manufacturing industry. Manufacturers opened their doors to students for facility tours and demonstrations, all in an effort to help get students interested in manufacturing careers, since the industry is one that is experiencing large skills gap. It was so successful last year that we have plans already underway to host our second annual Manufacturing Day in October right here in our community. And I will say that EMU was also gracious host for our educational hub site for the experience as well. But it doesn't stop there. We also have taken notice that our healthcare partners are also feeling the effects of the skills gap and talent shortage in our community and in our state. So with that, I am happy to announce that the Canton Chamber on May 18th will be launching the first Healthcare Day for Youth Career Exploration. This day will be, as you can see on the screen there, will be entitled Healthcare Next Generation. This is a special day featuring tours and interactive experiences within the healthcare industry for students, and also exposing students to higher education pathways to enter into this industry. We are also working to get the date of May 18th declared by the state of Michigan as Healthcare Day for Youth Career Exploration, and we are confident in our efforts to get this passed by the state. Our hope is that we will pilot this event in the Canton community, with the ultimate goal being to take this healthcare next generation throughout the state of Michigan, involving other communities. Also, hopefully, that it will grow to be just as large as our Manufacturing Day is throughout the nation. Now, we also have forged some very strategic partnerships with our Plymouth Canton School District, another strategic partner of our Canton 2020 Innovation Project. And I would like to thank John Magulik, Heather Duff, and Montine Barbie, and Nick Brandon here from the district to represent. Thank you guys for being here. All of you have been absolutely fantastic to work with, and we look forward to continuing our partnership with the school district as we move throughout the year of 2018. One of the initiatives that we will be partnering with the district on in just a few months, actually, is an HR Day, where human resource experts will guide students on critical skills, or as commonly referred to as soft skills, needed for success in the workforce. So stay tuned for more information. And whether you are in the HR field, or an HR manager or director or not, we know that many of you in this room are capable of teaching those critical skills and sharing your knowledge and expertise with the students on this day, and we hope to engage you further on that. This next slide here, I'm really excited about. The Canton Chamber, during the second quarter of this year, will also be launching a nonprofit network. You could be asking yourselves, well, how exactly does our nonprofit partners fall into this initiative of our Workforce Innovation Project? Well, of course, we have some outstanding nonprofit groups in our community, and ones that even support our community. And I'm sure that the Canton Chamber can find some alignment with some of those organizations that will enhance and further complement the goals of our Canton 2020 initiative. Furthermore, the overarching goal of this nonprofit network will be to ensure that we provide a platform for our nonprofit partners to engage in knowledge sharing and updates on specific projects that their organizations are working on specifically. So often in our nonprofit arena, we don't always know what others are doing. So we want to help change that. And I'm certain that as our nonprofits come together through this network, that we will ultimately have a collective impact on our Canton community. So to all the nonprofits that are sitting here in the room this afternoon, again, please stay tuned to an official invitation to join this network. You'll be receiving that information electronically, and we hope to see you at our first meeting that we'll be launching, as I mentioned, the second quarter of this year. This last slide here, the Michigan Career Pathways Alliance. The Canton Chamber actually joined forces with this Michigan Career Pathways Alliance, or MCPA. This is an initiative of the Talent and Economic Development Department of the state of Michigan. The Alliance is a group of organizations, and I think we're about 100 strong at this point. It's a group of organizations and businesses that are joining forces to really be proactive in closing Michigan's skills gaps. And there are several Alliance initiatives. I'm just going to mention just a few of them to you, just to name a few here. One initiative is to promote student success. Secondly, to recruit and retain CTE instructors, or career and technical education instructors. 3, to develop practical professional trades experiences for students and also educators. And lastly, to promote the various career pathways in our state. It was very easy for us to make the decision to become members of this alliance because so many of its objectives fit right in and aligned with our workforce innovation project. You'll be receiving more information about this alliance. We'll be sharing more information with you as we move throughout the year. A lot of the initiatives that are spearheaded by this alliance even comes in terms of helping improve the flexibility of the Michigan Merit Curriculum and other initiatives that are bills that are on the floor right now to be passed to help improve the student learning experience. The talent gap that we are seeing here in Michigan and right here in our community stems in part from a career awareness gap. And this is kind of where my public service announcement comes in. But far too long, general society has lumped our students into 2 categories. Either you're smart enough to go to college, or you're not. And it's time to change that conversation. So whether it's advanced manufacturing, construction, IT, healthcare, or any of the professions that we see represented here this afternoon, it's time to show our students that there are multiple pathways available that lead to high-wage, high-demand careers. One of the missions of Canton 2020 is to collaborate and innovate how we can help close the talent and skills gap. Our goal is to build 21st century talent solutions for our employers, all of you sitting here today. And how do we do this? Well, we do this by starting to help our youth, helping our students, helping them to explore their interests and their passions. But the Canton Chamber can't do this alone. And that's why we have forged these dynamic partnerships, some of which you have heard from today. This workforce innovation project that we are so excited to officially launch here today, we truly believe will benefit every business of every size, from our sole proprietors to our multi-million-dollar corporations that are members of our organization. But Canton 2020 will only be as successful as the level of your engagement. So my last question to you is, are you ready to be engaged? Are you ready to be engaged? Rob, are you ready to be engaged? I can do it. Mary Jane, are you ready to be engaged? Everybody, are you ready to be engaged in Canton 2020? Yes. Are you ready? You can do louder than that. Are you ready to be engaged in Canton 2020? Yes. All right, so we're going to hold you to that. On your tables, and please raise your hand if you don't have one, but on your table, you should have a Canton 2020 Workforce Innovation Project sheet. This sheet will actually give you the opportunity to list your interest in how you would like to be involved. Whether it's a mentorship, if you want to host company tours or host summer site visits for teachers, apprenticeships, mentorships, we want to know your level of engagement with us and with our strategic partners. So please, I'm going to pause for just a moment. Look over this sheet. Please put your name and your contact information. And we're going to collect, this is your ticket out of the room. So you have to fill this sheet out. If you don't have an idea of how you would like to be engaged, but you want to be involved or you want to offer some students some type of work-based learning opportunity, but you don't know how, that's okay. fill your name on here, and we can help you create a system to be engaged with these efforts. So I'm just going to pause for a couple of minutes, look over this sheet, and we'll start back up in just a few moments. All right, everyone. We hope that everyone has filled out their engagement sheets. That is your ticket out. So one last time, I ask you the question that's on the front of my shirt. My name is Thomas Payton, and I am ready to be engaged. And so I hope that you are too. Please fill out these forms. We'd love to have you engaged in our Canton 2020 initiative. One last thing before we let you go, and we're probably going just a little bit over time. Some of our ambassadors have been handing out these cards. You'll get these at your tables, or you'll get some when you leave. These cards actually, you can leave these when you visit chamber member, whether you're at a restaurant or some chamber member. As you walk in, you can see our decal on the front of their door. We want you to leave these cards behind with whichever chamber member business that you visit, because we want them to know that we're supporting them and we're engaging with our members. So please take a stack of these cards as you walk out and leave them with whatever chamber member that you are leaving or visiting. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for coming out to our official launch of Canton 2020. Oh, I'm sorry, there's a 50-50, isn't there? I tried to keep all the money, you caught me. All right, everybody, real quick, the 50-50 is for $50. And the winning ticket is 1612945. 1612945. We have a winner, Linda Daly. Congratulations. Thank you again to our sponsors, and we'll see you guys at next upcoming event.